Hello everyone. I just dropped my headphone. Hello, this is Kirusho here. Now, this is gonna be part 4 to What If Deku was a spirit detective from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now then, one thing I'm gonna have to mention right off the bat is I'm gonna be uploading this directly whenever I get home from work. Now, this is gonna be directly uploaded, so while this video is uploading onto YouTube, I am actually in the shower. Now, if I time this correctly, I should be able to get out of the shower and get dressed and start watching the anime further so that I can actually catch up and get these parts accurate. But I've been trying to catch up on a good portion of the anime, Yu Yu Hakusho. I've been going in over it again so that I actually can refresh my knowledge. I would recommend watching it, and if you guys have already seen it, just if you get confused, I suggest rewatching it because I actually have seen a lot of details that I may have missed out on whenever I was thinking about this what if. Anyways, oh crap. Anyways, whenever we last left off, Kirishima actually has entered the story. Now, after this, let's cut to later on to that day. Deku and Botan are talking, and she would have explained that because he threw the egg into the fire, he's kind of lost his second chance. Deku would have said that he doesn't care because as long as the people he loves are alive, it wouldn't matter if he can't go back. Now, whenever Botan would hear this, she would actually kind of like she would have paused for a second because that's the first time she's ever heard him actually say that he's cared about people. Now, that is whenever Sayaka, an actual spirit detective, like she's basically like a journalist of the spirit world because the spirit detectives are humans who can interact with both worlds. But Sayaka, she is, from what I've seen so far in the anime, she's only ever interacted with anything in the spirit world. Now then, she would have said that this actually does complete her case analysis. Deku would ask who she is, because she basically appeared out of nowhere. She would state that she's a retired spirit detective, but she was called in by Koenma to actually investigate Deku. Deku would be kind of angry at this and ask why the hell is she doing that? Anyways, she would then explain to Midoriya that in any case that would have happened normally, she would she was kind of called in for a special case that is Deku. She was told that you are your background and personality don't match up. So I'm here to try and figure out exactly what she's essentially here to do a personality check on Deku and determine if he should go back to the world of the living. Now, after this, she would then explain to Deku that you threw that egg away even though it was your only chance at getting back. You threw it away without hesitation or regard for your own self-preservation to get back to your body. Now, after this, Deku would be he'd be moping around for a minute, but then Koenma would then explain to Deku that normally he doesn't do this, but you have proven that you actually have a personality trait not a lot of humans carry. They actually genuinely intend to help people. you may be a delinquent, but you still try and make sure that no one suffers because of your consequences. You still act out, yes, but it's because you were still a child. Deku would get mad at this and ask, why the hell is he here to scold him then? And this is when Quimo would state that he's not actually here to scold him, he's here to give him another shot. Deku would ask what he means by this, and then Koema would explain that the energy the spirit beast has fed off of him, that it may actually not have been a good idea to have that one hatch. So it was kind of a good thing he threw it away, because that one would have actually probably killed Deku and eaten his soul. Now then, after that, Deku would get a new egg. He'd be very ecstatic because he essentially thought he lost a second chance, but because of him being selfless in this one act to save more people, regarding his life again, Quinmo would have actually appreciated this. Anyways, after that, Quinmo would then begin explaining to Deku. He would have popped up in front of Deku while they were flying, and Deku would have kind of screamed him for a minute because he wouldn't have expected this. That is whenever Quinmo would then tell Deku that the whole process for realigning your body and your spirit, it's going to take a minute because he essentially has to open up pathways in his body to allow his spirit to return. Now, Deku would then be told that this whole thing will happen, and realigning your body is not going to be easy. That it is going to take a minute, but you also not only do you need these pathways to be opened, you only have a full day or a full 12 hours before these pathways close, and you probably won't be able to get back to your body because your wavelengths, they're lower than regular humans. Deku would then ask, what does he mean by that? What would happen if he misses this chance? Koenmo would tell him that if he does miss this chance now, the only other way, the only other time he would probably be able to do this again would be 52 years from now. Deku would then be really, really like, he would have kind of like jumped back and said 52 years. He cannot wait that long. Now then, after this, Koenmo would actually begin the process of opening Deku's pathways and actually atoning him to the spirit world. And Deku's watching this, and he's essentially being covered in a golden glow. Koenmo would then say that this. Wait, did I say it takes 12 hours? It would be a full day. It would be a full day, not 12 hours. I'm very stressed right now. I'm doing laundry, and I have to go take a shower, and I have to go to work at 2. Laundry's gonna take forever. That's fun. I wanna die. Anyways, it will be a full 24 hours that his pathways will be open, but it's gonna be hard because he essentially has to find someone who cares about him. He essentially also has to have a donation of life force. Deku would say like a human sacrifice. Konoha would say no, he's not he's not the devil or a demon. Then he would say that it just requires a person to donate a portion of their life force. A very small portion, but still some. Deku would ask how they would do this. Konoha would then tease Deku by saying a kiss through the lips. Deku wouldn't think he's very serious, but yeah, Quinlan is serious. After that, then Deku would be. Ow. Ow. That popped. After that, Deku would then be told that he needs to enter the people who care about him most. He needs to enter their dreams. and actually tell them that they need to donate a portion of their life force to bring them back to the world of the living. Deku would then say that his mom is actually right out of the question, because once he starts drinking, she's on a fender bender for days. Then he'd say that Mina is obviously one of the people, but Bakugo, yeah, that's not something he wants to imagine. So he would talk to Mina and actually explain to her that, hey, I'm going to be coming back, but I need you to do me a favor. My body is going to be shining in a golden glow, and I need you to bring me back with a kiss. And while this is all going on, Mina's all actually having this dream of her kissing Deku, because that's how it happens in the anime. And at the same time, Baku would have this dream, but he would have actually woke up screaming. Now, whenever he does wake up, he actually just scare his cat. Then he would try and get ready for the day and try not to think about it. Anyways, after that, Mina would then try going to. She tried going over to Deku's house to see if he actually is covered in a golden glow, but he's kind of not, because the insurance money from the apartment, because they would have had buyer's insurance, would have been pretty good. So they actually would be in the canon apartment building that Deku lives in now. Anyway, she would go over there and actually see that Deku isn't encased in the golden glow. However, his feet are. She would then go in to try and kiss Deku to see if that would actually work. But she would have actually hesitated and ran out of the room blushing, kind of calling herself an idiot for thinking that that was actually a real. Then Deku would just be screaming as he's floating around. Afterwards, afterwards, Bakugo is actually taking the day off from school. Oh, Bakugo is actually taking the day off from school. He's actually running around the city, fighting people, and actually training because he still wants to get in the UA. Now, after this, Mina would actually be going around the city doing a lot of different things. Let's say half a day has passed at this point, and Deku is actually covered in the golden glow because it would have happened around noon. So, Deku is actually trying to fly around and find Bakugo or Mina, but he can't find these two. He would then look in school and find that she's not there anymore because the school day would have ended. And she would have actually been released from school and have been told by one of the principals that her mother's in the hospital. She would go and actually see that her mother has essentially fallen ill. She got like a very, very bad cold. And I want to say that since she has a quirks are physical abilities, so they would probably affect people differently. People still have quirks. I'm not taking those out of this, but I'm just setting them aside because it's essentially normal for everyone. So this would have actually probably impacted her white blood cell count in her body with the slime or the acid and made it lower. So she would actually be more susceptible to illnesses. That is going to be my explanation for this because she's actually very, very sick and she's actually bedridden, basically in like falling in and out of consciousness. Now, Deku would say that Mina's actually not going to leave her mother's bedside. She's basically just chained there. Now, they're actually running out of time because Deku's still trying to find Bakugo. He would finally find Bakugo, and he would actually just pass right through him again. Bakugo would get the chills and actually run out of the arcade. Now, he's not running to Midoriya's house. He's just running away from that chilly. I was gonna say that chilly feeling, because he senses ghost. After this would happen, Botan would actually say that she has an idea, and she would actually leave Deku for a minute. Now, she would actually possess Mina's mother. Whenever she does possess Mina's mother, she just says, she would say, like, through, I wouldn't say choppy sentences, but essentially, her mother is actually fading in and out of consciousness very, very fast and rapidly. So, whenever she does possess her, it's not very crystal clear. She just says, Botan would just say this: Midoriya doesn't have much time. You need to go to him. He won't be able to come back if you don't help him. And as she would actually say this, her mother would actually wake up and start coughing again. So she would actually start running to Midoriya's house because she has less than an hour now. She has less than 20 minutes. And she's running and she's running. And eventually she would get to Midoriya's house, but she doesn't have keys. So she's trying to get in, she's trying to open windows. She has less than 2 minutes before midnight. She would eventually have said screw it and actually burn the acid, use her acid and actually burn off the doorknob and kick it open. Now she would only have probably about 10 seconds, so she's actually really frantically running to Midoriya's room. She would bust open his door and actually fall and to kiss him. Now, whenever this does happen, Deku was actually flying nearby. He was essentially flying into his room, and he would have actually been able to get in just in time, right before the pathways closed. Think about it like a revolving door, and how if you're in that one section where the door is completely blocking the front path and the path behind him, he basically barely got out before the door hit his ass on the way out. Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing that a lot because this guy curses so much. Anyways, after that would happen, Mina would begin crying because she thinks she essentially lost Midoriya for the second time. But she's actually crying and bawling her eyes out. Now, Koenma is actually stating that it was too late. This is not very good. Botan would then say that she doesn't actually see Midoriya anywhere. What does that mean? They can't be too late because he's not around and she doesn't feel him. This was when Midoriya would slowly start opening his eyes and actually sit up and look at Mina. Mina would begin. She's kind of awestruck because essentially Deku's back. He would have told her, "Gee, thanks for the kiss, but you don't have to cry again. He's back. He'll be fine." Afterwards, she would just jump into Deku's arms and actually hug him. After that, let's say the next day has passed. Deku's mom is still on her fender bender of bullshit with getting hammered and just not being around. Anyways, let's cut to Deku actually walking down the street with a different jacket on, a pair of glasses, and he actually has a different hairstyle. Because let's say he did have this type of hairstyle. He had his canon type of hairstyle, but he probably would have sweeped his hair around to be more like Todoroki's in this picture. Anyways, he's walking down the road and a couple people try to come up and try and mug him. Deku would just laugh and ask if they're talking to him. They'd be confused by this and say that they are talking to him. Why is he acting so funny? Deku would then just extend the hand out saying it's good to be alive. After that, Botan would actually call him into an alley, and she's dressed as a fortune teller. She would tell Deku that his spiritual energy is actually higher and stronger than others. Deku's thinking he should tell her he's been dead for a while. And he just got back. That might surprise her. She would just say no, no it wouldn't. And she actually does have a mission for him. He would then just say, no, and just walk away. After that, Deku would actually walk into a burger place. Whenever he does walk in, people are looking at him and they don't recognize him as Izuku Midoriya. Because he has essentially been dead and people stopped paying attention to him. So they're not actually looking out for him anymore. Whenever he does walk in, he would sit down and pick up a menu. This is whenever Bakugo would actually walk in, and there's a guy sitting at a table, and he just has this shit-eating grin that Bakugo would have in canon, but it's more evil. Yes, a shit-eating grin bigger than Bakugo's. Something I thought was impossible. After that, actually, crap. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that into part 5. Anyways, I'm gonna be leaving this off right here because if I do go into it, I don't think I'll have enough time to record the rest of this. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and part 5 will be out fairly shortly after this one is. Because, like I did say, I am probably out of the shower and already dressed and started recording part 5 as this one is uploaded. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and have a good day.